Beyond the Fairway podcast. You know, you're home for all things. What's dope in golf? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Doug Smith right here alongside Will Lowry coming in here today. We got Will's man, practice partner. I got to say that, Will. Your practice partner, Alfonso Ribeiro, coming in. Will, but before we get to that, want to take us back Thursday morning. Augusta National honors Lee Elder as an honorary starter alongside Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player. Will, it was an emotional morning for me. I feel like there were more people that were surrounding that first tee than I've seen in recent years. People had masks on, but it was a sight to behold.
Yeah, I felt like, you know, when I saw that moment, I feel like that was a moment everybody shared together. You know, a lot of people from the golf world, especially older individuals, some of my mentor, James Black and Jim Thorpe and those guys, I spoke to them, and just hearing how they recognize that moment, and you could tell that it was a proud moment for something they understand what Mr. Lee Elder went through. And I want to give a shout out to Steph Curry. Steph Curry, he sent everybody, it's like a personal gift that he sent a select number of people, a green hat that I'm currently wearing right now that says 1975. And basically what the Curry brand was just trying to make a statement was just want to honor an individual of that moment in time, Lee Elder, for him making his debut at the Masters in 1975.
Yeah, it was a monumental moment. Two monumental moments there this week at Augusta National. Hideki Matsuyama slipping on a little new jacket, something to go into the closet, man. Fantastic stretch of golf and an unbelievable Saturday. Will, your man, you called it. You said Tony Finau was your heart pick. T10 -3. Let's talk about it, man.
I mean, yeah, I went with my heart, you know, just because, you know, he's a former Advocate Pro Golf Tour as well, member, APGA member as well. And, you know, I'm still riding with him. I just thought he could pull it out this week. I'm a ride die with this guy. But, yeah, after that 65 by Hideki, I just knew that, you know, it was going to be tough for anybody to catch that. You know, he's feeling hot. Things are going well. Striking the ball, phenomenal. So I knew he was going to be a tough beat.
Yeah, Sunday, back 9, coming down the stretch. Always when the tournament starts, we'll pick some of this up after we get to our interview with Alfonso Ribeiro, because guess what? It's time to go beyond the fairway with your boy. Hey, Beyond the Fairway podcast, you already see it. Master Sunday. We're recording early this week. Will Lowry's with me. We got our man, the homie, Alfonso Ribeiro. What's up, man?
I'm good. Now, it's very funny. We just talked about the pronunciation of my name, and then you just got it wrong.
You just mess it up. Yeah.
I did mess it up?
Yeah, you went Ribeiro.
Yeah. Because you try to add that pizzazz to it. And the pizzazz.
I did.
Yes.
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
You know what? I would retake this, but I like getting Jones on, so I'm going to just leave it.
No, I think we got to keep it. We got to keep it.
That's what happened. Hey, that right there was compared to trying to hit the ball extra 300 yards. Like, I'm going to try to get 320 out of this.
It was like Bryson this week at the Masters. That's basically how I did that.
You're good.
Right.
I did too much, man. So, hey, Masters Sunday, Alfonso. I know you and Will just got off the course. Not sure how much you guys got to catch up on the events of the day, but did you see the finish? Are you pleased with the winner, and was it your pick?
You know, I won't say it was my pick. Obviously, I don't think anybody saw Hideki Matsuyama as the winner of this before the week started. But, you know, I think it's such a monumental win for him and for the country of Japan. You know, they love their athletes different than the way we do. And he is one of the monsters over there. And what it has done for Japanese golf, I'm sure will be, you know, we'll see this for decades to come. But you know what? He's just a great player, and he deserved the win and played great. Obviously, we didn't get to see the final round because we was on the golf course getting ready to play in the APGA event here in Las Vegas. So Will and I didn't get to watch it, but you know, I was paying attention on the phone throughout the round.
Hey Alfonso, who was your pick?
You know, I would have gone with Justin Thomas. I felt like, you know, he was due to get this. He's got his game right. I know that Spieth looked really good last week and was right in there. I still think he's a little bit away from winning those majors again. I just think, you know, that 7 he took in the first round obviously hurt his chances. I mean, if if he doesn't make that, but it's that one shot every once in a while where as we all know, you're getting your swing, you're making swing changes, it starts to come around, but every once in a while, that old swing just goes, and just jumps in and
just come out of nowhere.
And that's really what happened with that one swing. He left it dead right, and that was the old swing that showed up. So, but Justin Thomas was my guy going in.
Nice, so look, we know you're a huge golfer. I mean, you support the game at every level. You support the Champions Tour. We see you here on NBC and Golf Channel. I think every day I see your face. So we definitely appreciate your support. But where does it come from? Like, where does it start? How did you get into this crazy ass game, man?
I just I realized, probably more like 15 years ago or so that I loved this game. I started playing when I turned 18, so I've been playing for years, but I'm about to be 50 this year, so I've been playing a while, and I just there's something awesome about a game that you play that is physical and mental, and that forever you never master, right? You never ever get to the point where you're not always trying to improve, and that's kind of my life, right? Even though I've been successful, I don't stop trying to be better at everything that I'm doing in my life. So this game just fits who I am. It's just everything about it, the precision, the love of being outdoors and playing and in the atmosphere, and you're in grass, you're getting fresh air, most of the time. Those are just everything about it is who I am. Being that precise and literal, and then trying to achieve, but still being creative and analytical, because I'm very analytical, but the creative side gets to come out. The game is just the best game ever.
So how do you sometimes differentiate? Do you ever take moments where you can say, well, when I'm acting, right? Do you ever take moments where I'm acting, but this can apply to a golf portion as well? Sticking through the I'm upset, I'm mad. So do you ever have those comparisons?
Well, the comparison is the mental, right? Like, when we shoot America's Funniest Home Videos, we literally shoot it like a real live show. We go from the top to the bottom, right? And when you're shooting something live, it's the same as like playing in a game, right? There's no retakes. You don't get to re-tee it, right? You hit it where you hit it, and it lies where it lies, and you go find it, and you hit it again. But the mental idea of being focused while still being in your space, right? One of the things, and I think, Will, you and I have talked about this a little bit as we were talking on the phone earlier this week. It's like you get in a tournament and you stop breathing, right? You got to breathe. You got to be as comfortable and natural. And today, there were some camera crews that came out onto the golf course. And it's like, no, that's when I'm at my best, because I know how to be in that circumstance. And that's really, and it's like, but I wasn't always like that. I wasn't always able to play in front of the cameras and play in front of people and be comfortable. But I am now, which means it's like, ooh, let me go play more of these type events where it's like, yo, there are people out there, or you're playing for money, or you're playing for, a charity, or whatever you're doing. It's the moment. And I connected in terms of just being able to just be, alive and present all the time.
Wow. I like
in
that.
my work and on the golf course.
So what would you say to the APGA players? We know recently some of them just competed in a couple PGA Tour events. What would you say to them on how to handle the press, the cameras, and maintain a steady golf game and be competitive?
I definitely plan on pulling a few of the guys aside this week and having that conversation with them. My advice is learning how to schedule, right? You can't be everything for everyone. At the end of the day, the press is important and you have to be there for them, but you got to have somebody that has the ability to say no. Somebody that has the ability to schedule it the way you need it scheduled for you. Because at the end of the day, you could be on TV all the time, but if you're not actually playing well, you won't be there again. So the most important thing is making sure that your game is right? And schedule it. Make sure that everybody else recognizes that You gotta take your times. Now, once you learn the schedule, you'll be able to work your schedule in a way that allows both to exist. But you've gotta think about it ahead of time and think about the things that you need, and then figure out how to make it right. What do you do at home, right, or wherever you're staying? You know, the hardest part, I think, for any PGA Tour professional is that they're on the road. How do they make the road comfortable? Who do they keep around, right? Like, I knew that I was coming to this event. And, you know, listen, it's not about where I finished this event. I'm really trying to just bring some attention to the guys out there. But I was like, yo, I'm going to go stay in my RV, and I'm not going to be around a lot of people, right? I'm not going to a hotel. I didn't bring the whole family because I actually want to be able to focus. I want to be able to just, you know, lock in, get up in the morning, be on my own timetable, and then get to the first tee, not rushed, not dealing with other stuff, being able to be focused.
So you're taking this week. So for those that don't know and listening, Alfonso as well as Will are in Las Vegas for the APGA Tour event this week. It's going to be held, yesterday's round one when this airs. But I want to talk a little bit about staying present, because I find this interesting, and I find it something that a lot of people could take, Alfonso, to more aspects of their life besides just golf. So with you and your schedule, your family, the demands on camera, off camera, in your RV that is behind you, which is awesome. How do you stay present? What is your process like, you know, in this effort?
Well, you know, I like to think about it as living in a bubble, right? And COVID this year, you know, for the last, 12 months has made us all live inside of a bubble. That's comfortable for me, right? So because everybody inside my bubble is part of my bubble. They're part of my team, right? And everybody works toward making sure that you have a balanced life, right? I have a team. I have managers and agents and PR people and lawyers and I have my team. But they know that the most important time for me is my family time, right? Is my alone time, is my time for me, right? When I'm working, you got me. I'm all you. I'm going 100%. But when it's my time, right? And they understand that. My team understands that. My family understands that. You know, my wife is like, hey, babe, go to Vegas, do your thing.
Ooh.
Do whatever you need to do to be great this week. Because she knows how important that is to my soul, right? Like, I need this in my life. Go do that. And so I'm able to balance all of it because the people in my life allow me to balance it, right? There are too many people who have a team, wives, kids, girlfriends, whatever, that's like, what about me? Okay, I get it. What about you?
Yeah.
Right now, this is me. This is me right now. And and by the way, on Tuesday evening, right? Tuesday afternoon, as soon as I finish and get off that golf course, right? Today, Tuesday, right? My kid in LA has a baseball game. I am driving that RV with my car towing behind me right to his game. I don't have enough time to go home and change and put on the hat and put on my coaching jersey, and I don't have any of that. I'm driving straight to the game in my RV. Why? Because it's also important for my son to see me at his game. It's important for my wife to see me at his game. My other kids see me supporting them, all of them, at the things that are important for them. That's why they can support me at the things that I do.
I love it.
So staying present and being present.
Absolutely.
Right, there's two different facets there. Like, I enjoy that, being present.
But you know, it's so funny. I kind of want to unpack something. You just spoke on the bubble, and we all know the recent events that we just went through with the COVID. And I want a serious answer from you on this question.
Okay.
A serious answer. Can you provide? And I hope maybe you have it, or maybe your team. Can you provide me the number? Because it had to be lower than ever. Can you provide me the number of how many times you was asked to do the Carlton Dance during the COVID era?
Listen,
it had to be lowest ever.
COVID was great for me. Nobody asked me. I'm in my bubble. This is just fantastic. I'm in the house. You know, we bought the RV during COVID, and we literally drove 20,000 miles last year, right? We went all over the country. And every once in a while, people will come up and ask me, but I'm in my bubble, right?
Right.
Will, we were having lunch today after we finished playing. Somebody rolled over and said, hey, how are you, Alfonso? You're Alfonso, right? yeah, nice to meet you. Can you do the dance? Like, no,
No.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do the
No.
dance. But I'll say this. I understand and I appreciate what they're asking means to them, right? Like they're telling me ultimately by asking me that there's something that I created, something that is in their lives is so important and something that really moves them. And for me, it's an honor that they're even asking. I put them down kind of nicely. I don't kill nobody.
Yeah, that was pretty smooth. That was pretty smooth today.
I don't kill them with the ass, but
he might have had some practice already.
Hey, Dougie, the way he hit the young lady today that asked him, it was so smooth. It was a left hand turn down. We was in the car business. It was like, I can do it, but I'm not doing it right now. No, ma'am.
Well, it's funny that you even bring it up, Will. And Alfonso, I find this interesting because here I am thinking you're just dancing to some Tom Jones back in the day, but I broke it down. You're actually working on your golf swing. Like, I really found this interesting because think about the dance, Will. When you swing back, it's an internal hip rotation, a full chest rotation, and then you swing it back, and that's the follow through. So you've been working on your game for more than most blacks anybody in the game. So I'm impressed that you were able to kind of work that into your career, Alfonso.
The only difference with the Carlton dance, my dance versus the golf swing is the upper body leads the lower body in the dance, and the lower body leads the upper body in the swing.
Okay. He went. I thought I was getting technical. He chopped me. It's all right. I appreciate it. But you were still working on some rotationalness.
That's how I swing. I don't want to. I don't want to.
No.
And think about it. One thing I appreciate was that I'm always big on being passive in the golf swing. When he do the Carlton dance, you have to be passive because everything are working together. All the muscles, all the joints are working together. There's a sequence there. So I think if you want to start the game, learn how to do Carlton dance, and then you can be able to hit the ball far like him.
Well, typically when I see people when they're doing the Carlton dance all wrong, I'm like, he can't play golf.
Right.
Hey, but it's funny that you bring up Carlton because growing up and watching the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that was the character that I gravitated toward because I felt like I lived in that social dynamic. I wasn't wealthy by any means, but I played golf, which afforded me kind of accesses to the country clubs and the suit and tie, blue blazer cats. Let me ask you, when we talk about this era of BLM and code switching, what parts of Carlton have you experienced in your life as well as in this golf space? Because sometimes it's tough to be, 100% authentically you because you also want that invitation back. So how has that been in this space for you?
Well, I will say this, that I've always been a person of people, right? I'm not black, I'm not, Latino, I'm not white, I'm nothing. I am a person, I am a human. And at the end of the day, if we all view each other as humans and become the human race, then we don't have to deal with any of that, right? Now, that doesn't mean it ain't happening. Not everybody views everything the same way. And so there is a very real reality and a necessity for BLM and all the others, right? My great cousin was Stokely Carmichael. So there's a lot of, understanding and recognition to all the movements, that we've had in our history about changing the way we live in society. But I'm not going to be apologetic for being who I am, nor am I going to change who I am for anybody else. I believe in being me alone. You like me? Cool. You don't like me? Cool. You have no thoughts about me? Cool. It doesn't matter to me. We all spend too much time worrying about what people think, right? And Will and I touched on this a little bit today. It's like too many people in our community spend too much time worrying about what their homie thinks of them. Well, their homie ain't giving them nothing in their life that's going to uplift them, right? They're not changing their life. Like I've said this, and I said this today with Will, I want to be the poorest person in the room, right? Now, that means that most of the time, I'm not in a room full of people that look like me, right? So at the end of the day, I want to be that person in the room because I want to learn from them. utilize the people around you to learn. And right now, look, we are as divided a country as we've ever been, in my mind, right? And certainly in my lifetime. And we're fighting each other for an idea, right? It's not real, right? We're fighting each other for this idea that if I get this, then I'm going to stay ahead of the next person. The reality is that there are really, really rich people who see us all as the same. We're less than them, and they're running the show. So fight for you and your family, but you don't need to fight for the neighbor. You don't need to fight for the guy who doesn't look like you, even though I will fight for my neighbors and the people who look like me, because I'm fighting for them to have at least some sort of love and happiness in their lives, right? Like, yeah. I vote against my own interests, right? Like, if you think about it,
yeah.
If you make over $250,000 a year, you have to vote Republican because that's your money, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't. I vote to help people. And I believe that one party helps more people than the other party. Not that I'm not getting political. It's just That's what they do. Some people believe the idea is, if I give it to this guy will hire me. And that's why poor people, white, will vote Republican. Nothing in the Republican Party stands for, none of it helps them. But they know who does. If racism still exists, then me, white guy in America, I actually then will get that job over the next guy. So they vote, even though it's against their own interests, they're voting for what they believe is their long-term interests. So we have a lot of different understandings. For me, I want to help people. I want to help people. Right?
Well, in that vein, though, Alfonso, go ahead, Will. I'm sorry.
I was wanting to bring up. You just spoke up racism. It was widely touted that Lee Elder just was part of the honorary tee-off just before the Masters. I want to get your thoughts on that. Given the fact we knew what he'd been through back in the 70s, 1975 was the year that he first played in the Masters. What was your thought, and describe the feeling you felt when you saw the honorary tee this morning, or Thursday morning, excuse me.
Yeah, this week on Thursday. The reality for me was I didn't get to see it live, but I certainly played the replay because it was before I woke up in the morning. But it really pulled at my heartstrings, right? Like, listen, you got to remember, Augusta was not open to people of color for the longest. So we've come a long way in the game of golf to allow Lee Elder the respect that he deserves. And, if we want to look at it in terms of just hardcore numbers, right? Like, no, Lee Elder wasn't part of that group that would have been an honorary first tee individual. Mm-hmm. But at a time where we need, and especially what's happening in the state of Georgia, the idea that Lee Elder would be able to stand there and hit the ceremonial first shot means that they've come a long way. Yeah. And they are recognizing the difference of what we need to do and what's right and wrong. Right and wrong is simple. Allowing it to happen to people around you and to people in your life, that's the harder part for a lot of people. So it really I got emotional seeing that. It was a huge moment. And I really do, I'm proud of Augusta National for deciding to do the right thing. And the fact that, Jack Nicklaus, when he wiped a tear from his eye, right? Because he understands, and he's in his, mid to late 80s, and he knows that man was never given his right to. That
he's been around the game for forever. Yeah,
and the fact that it's time. It's time.
Mm-hmm.
It's time.
Yeah. Now, look, on the vein of helping people, and again, I was emotional as well seeing Lee Elder as the honorary starter there this week at the Masters Championship. But I want to know, what are you doing prepping to play against Will in a golf tournament with the APGA? I know you're there to help, but let's talk about it real quick, because what is it that they need kind of help with that you hope to achieve this week?
Well,
besides getting a W.
At the end of the day, I was really just picking Will's brain all day, so I wanted to understand how I could beat him. And if I beat Will, I've already won.
That's fair.
But that's
fair.
But that's me in my entire life. I'm always trying to beat Wills. I don't know what's going on with that. For me, what I want to do is recognize, it's like, look, what did Lee Elder get, right? He's getting some recognition. And so there were a lot of young players, people like Will 10 years ago, right, when he was trying to turn his golf game into a pro game. He didn't have all the stuff available to them, right? And golf is an elitist sport. Whether we like it or not, whether we agree with that or not, it just is, right? Golf, tennis, these are games that are typically played in, baseball has become that in America. At the end of the day, these kids don't have the opportunity. And I'm not sure that the guys that are currently playing on the tour will go the full distance. There might be a couple of them that can get there. But we need to build a foundation. And the foundation starts by building, first, a recognition of what they're doing, knowledge of what they're doing, and then understand the things that they need to actually get better, right? We're talking about the electronics, right? The TrackMans or the simulators or the flight scopes, whatever. Do they have that? When you go and you see, even on the Korn Ferry Tour, you will see 50 people on the range and they all have launch monitors and they're looking at their numbers, right?
Yep.
So that's available to them, but it isn't available to our guys, right? There are some things that I would, after I play this event, I plan on taking it back to the powers that be and talk about the things that they need, right? Do the guys know how to read a true PGA yardage book? The yardage book that we have, that we're using for this event, is the stuff they sell in the pro shop. You got no shot if you don't already use it, right? You go out on the Korn Ferry or you go to PGA Tour, and those guys are used to it, right? You see what happened to Bryson DeChambeau. The Masters don't allow the book, so Bryson is lost, right? But there are different brains, there are different ways of thinking, and I want to bring notoriety to this tour and help them raise money, raise notoriety, some marketing value, so that these kids could go out and get individual sponsors, that they can get access to the best teachers and the best equipment. Look, Will, you got wedges from like 7 years ago. I mean, I'm clowning. They're like, I know those wedges were good. You liked them. You got them. You liked them, right? But I was like, why is that even? That shouldn't even be.
Wow.
Right? And I don't think that I'm messing with Will because he's my partner.
I love it.
I can mess with him a little bit. Because, by the way, sometimes the wedges from 7 years ago are better than the wedges today. That may be true. But the fact that that's the case, right? That you don't have, that all of these guys don't have the access to the newest and greatest equipment every year, right?
Makes sense.
Is a huge difference. There's a buddy of mine who's playing, for the University of Houston, right? And his name is Trip Morris, young kid. He used to be a member at Lakeside in LA, right? He goes to the Kingdom, right? He gets new equipment. He has all of that, right? Yeah. And that's cool. It's like it's great that he has that, and that's what it should be. He should be able to have that. But everybody should be able to have that. That should be accessible.
It's hard to suck when you have everything. Like when you have a launch monitor and new equipment and a place to play and practice and the correct yardage book, it's very difficult to suck.
Well, I'll tell you.
Unless you suck.
Well,
absolutely. You know what I mean?
Your ability may not be, you're not maximizing your ability. And at the end of the day, I just bought a simulator in my home. My golf game in 4 months has gone from being 5-6 handicap to being able to shoot under par. I shot 69 today, right?
Ooh,
I shot 67 at my home course a couple days ago. At the end of the day, that doesn't exist without that simulator. It just it doesn't exist. It's not. I would not be able to do it. And so I want to make sure that all these young kids that are on the APGA, that they have the ability to get all of the best equipment, to get all of the information, to get the real yardage books, to be able to go out and play. You know, how do you know the real number from this exact spot, right? And then also I want to individually talk to these kids and help them understand how to deal with all of the outside efforts and all of the different pressures, and how to accept success.
Ooh.
Because that sometimes is harder than failure. How do you deal with success? How do you have success and keep wanting more success? And what happens to you internally to do that? All of those things are huge aspects to being successful. It's different when you talk about a Michael Jordan, a LeBron James, right? A Derek Jeter in different sports where, you can do that. In the game of golf, shoot, there's only a couple people, right? There's Tiger Woods, there's Harold Varner, and Cameron Champ. That's it.
Joseph Bramlett. We always got to add Joseph into this conversation. Joseph Bramlett's out there.
Well, what I mean by that is playing right now regularly on the PGA Tour, right?
Yeah,
at the upper echelon. There's a lot of guys in the channel, right? But I'm talking about the pinnacle of golf, right?
Right.
There are only a few, and it's not easy to get there. And so there are a lot of these guys that may not get there, but then they'll become the leaders and the mentors to that next generation that right now are in high school or they're in middle school, and they don't have the access to it. And how do we bring them up through the game and onto the PGA Tour?
Alfonso, you just mentioned something real quick. You just mentioned something about notoriety and bringing notoriety to these kids and young players. How do we get notoriety to people who have similar platforms as you? Steph Curry's doing a thing with Howard. We have a couple people with similar platforms, involving themselves in different parts of HBCUs, historical black universities. But how can we get individuals part of the game with platforms similar to yours?
Well, I think, look, there are a lot of people that play and love the game of golf, right? You take Anthony Anderson, you got Don Cheadle, you got Samuel L. Jackson. The list goes on and on and on, right? And they have to know that it's actually sexy to help, right? Like, it's not always that easy to convince somebody to give of their time for nothing. The something that they're getting is how you help people. Can we help people? I know that there's an RV going by, so the motor. But but how do we help people, and how do we get them? We convince them, one, by me going out and starting and saying, "Hey guys, this is awesome. This is amazing to be able to help these young kids," and then allowing these young kids to be appreciative and learn how to be forward thinking, right? There were a lot of kids out there today that were nervous and didn't want to come over and say hello until I walked over and said hello to them. Yo, you got to walk over. You see somebody that might help you, walk over. Hey, Mr. Ribeiro, I just want to say hi. My name is so-and-so. Thank you so much for being out here, or simply just nice to meet you, and, hope you have a great week. But you got to learn how to, that has to be taught. Someone has to learn, you have to learn that. You need to learn how to do it and learn the right way to do it.
And have self-confidence too to do it. Like, if you don't have confidence in yourself, A, you shouldn't be out there. But B,
yes,
hey,
yeah, you're not going to be there. You're not going to be there if you don't believe in it.
Well, Mr. Ribeiro, it's that time. See how I said that? Brought it back, got it out, said it correctly instead of how I did it earlier in the show.
What? What?
I've been waiting to get it back so I could like correct myself and get my confidence back. I can't believe I missed that damn intro, man. My bad. I told you I was from Kentucky. It creeps out every so often. All right, we got to get to it. Here we go. Alfonso, you got 4 rappers to take to the golf with you, dead or alive. Here we go. Alfonso's rap foursome right here on Beyond the Fairway. Who you playing with, brother?
Well, I'm starting, obviously, with my main man, Will Smith, right? So I got to bring Will. Will's coming with me, right? Well, there's no question there.
I wonder why, though.
I don't know.
Just kidding.
You ever met him?
You know, he can do it sometimes. He has some fun. He has some fun.
Okay.
How much money does he owe you, honestly, though? Like, let's be honest. Like, on the course. Like, he owe you some money.
Oh, no,
right?
we don't really gamble. We don't really gamble.
Have you taught him anything?
okay.
Have you taught him anything? Like any golf tips?
You know, he was taken from Butch Harmon at one point, so, you know.
Excuse me.
You know, so I just
talking about access.
I just let him go do his thing.
Yeah,
You know,
Understood.
trust me, I try to help him. I'm like, listen, you know, Mr. Giraffe, you gotta tighten them arms in. Right? He long and lanky. He like the dude on the corner with the blow up that's telling you to go buy something. You know, so you gotta get them arms in. Lock them in tight. My other dude that I would love to take to the golf course would have been Heavy D. Bum diddly. My man
Very
was,
nice.
you know, Heavy was such a good dude, so much fun, just a great heart. So I would definitely, I would have brought Heavy. You know, I think that I'm battling my brain because obviously, you know, you could go Tupac and Biggie. You know, I don't think I would have any of the guys today. So, you know, that's why I was asking, like, you know, can they not be around? So it's like Will Smith and dead people. You know.
All right.
You know, Eric B and Rakim. I don't know. You know, we might go there.
All right. I hear where your ear is, though.
Yeah.
I hear where your ear is. So Will Smith, Heavy D. Are we going Tupac and Biggie? And we can't do Eric B and Rakim. There's too many people on the
Too
court.
many hands in there.
Too many people. So
Too many people.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Biggie, and then Eric. I go with Rakim.
Okay. I like it. There it is, right here. Rap Foursome Beyond the Fairway podcast.
I bet
sir,
you nobody saw that coming. I bet you nobody.
I didn't see it coming.
No, I didn't see Rakim. No.
I thought you was gonna go with the baby. You know, it was the little baby last week, and then I thought you was gonna go with the baby. Everybody's, you know, it's a lot of babies right now in the game, so I wanted to get that out.
It's either baby or Lil.
A little, yeah.
Lil.
And some of them the same people.
Yeah.
Hey, before we let you go, how are you playing going into the championship? And then we'll let you out of here.
You know, look, I said a little earlier. I mean, my game right now is as tight as it's been, based on that simulator. I mean, look, I don't suspect I'm gonna go out there and shoot under par for the next 2 days, but if I could just go out there and shoot anywhere in the low 70s, represent, that would make me happy. You know, the golf course is one of those golf courses where one shot could be, you know, a lot of strokes because you're either in the fairway or you're in the desert,
Or you're beyond
the
fairway. Is what you're
Right?
saying.
Yes, it's well beyond the fairway. So we'll see. One shot could be a 6 or 7 pretty quickly. But I'll say this: if I strike the ball the way that I struck it today, I feel like, you know, I will absolutely go home feeling really good about where I was at. But once again, the importance of me coming and playing in this tour event is about these kids and helping them understand and bring some love and support for them. So that's really the goal. And as long as I achieve that goal this week, will be a success.
So, all right, before we go, I just got to ask a question.
And beating Will.
You gotta beat Will. If you beat Will, oh man, I can't wait. I can't.
Well, I
this is
mean,
gonna be fun.
either way, how he strikes the ball or beat me, rather not. I mean, I got to ask a question. Did your RV come with the hut that you're in right now, or did you bring the hut with you too?
No, remember I told you the place that I pulled the RV in to the RV resort here is one of the nicest in the country. They have a beautiful RV resort. So yeah, this is like a tiki hut area. I got the fireplace in the back there. I got a little bar set up. I got the grill. Right, I got tables. I got my chair set up here. I've got my TV out here that I can put on and watch TV outdoors.
Oh, you out here living good.
It's set up.
For the listeners, it looks like his RV came with the mobile cabana. I don't know. It's
beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So no matter what he shoots, he's gonna be okay because he's gonna walk out his mobel deck.
All I know is tomorrow, after we finish playing, you can be like, "Can I Uber to the RV?"
Right.
Hey, well, it is good to see black and red though on a Masters Sunday, so we do appreciate that. Keeping it all the way real. Thank you so much, my good sir, for going beyond the fairway right here, NBC Golf Channel. Will Lowry, Doug Smith, Alfonso, we'll holler at you, brother. Thank you.
Love you guys.
If you let him beat you this week, Will, I'm going to say something to you. I don't know what you got planned or how you hitting it right now, but if Alfonso beats you, I'm going to call you out, bro.
No way a guy who character was penny loafers was his preferred shoe of choice will beat me in a golf tournament. There's no way.
Hey, but what's it really mean to you, Will? And us, we both play on the APGA tour. I stop by at times. You play consistently on the tour. When celebrities do take the time to come and involve themselves in kind of what we have going on, and when I say we, it's just us guys that are trying to play and gals to play golf at the highest level.
I mean, I feel, well, first and foremost, Dougie, I participate in the APGA Pro Golf Tour because I don't know if what I do is conducive of playing. But when you see guys like Alfonso, wanting to be involved, it tells you that the word is spreading out. People are starting to hear about it. With all the coverage of Kamayu and Willie Mack, it tells you that people are asking questions. People who have huge platforms are asking questions. How can we be involved? How can I help out? And what Alfonso's doing this week can really help on multiple levels. So, I mean, kudos to him, man. I'm happy that he's helping out, but I'd be damned if I let him beat me, for sure.
Well, we're gonna see what's up right there. Hey, as we talked about it on the front end of the show, we'll want to bring it back up. This week, Augusta wasn't the same Augusta we saw in November.
No, hell no, it wasn't. That's the problem. So that's the question I have to ask you. So, does this solidify the asterisk that you said DJ had for winning the 2020 Masters?
I'm gonna say Augusta National definitely has more teeth this time of year than it does in November. No, I give him an asterisk per the time of year he played. Okay, he set a scoring record. I'm not taking anything back from what he did, how he did it. But what I am saying is, when you play Augusta National, when it's supposed to be played, it's got a different bite. That dog got a different bite, brother.
Kudos to Justin Rose for shooting at 65 on a hard and fast course versus a soft and wet.
Well, it's funny you talk about Rosie, man. Everybody's so excited to see kind of how he started, how he played, and then he just kind of, followed up a 65 with 72, 72, 74. It's just, but I'm proud that when you look back at 2021, Will, you're going to see two Asian-born Japanese players, Subsai Kajitani winning the Augusta National Women's Amateur Tournament, and then Hideki Matsuyama slipping on the green jacket with his first major this year. I think that's a monumental, given all that's going on right now, it's monumental to see Asian players at the top of the leaderboard, and I'm excited about it. And, when Hideki won the Memorial a few years ago, I was so hype. This guy's good. Well, Will, there's always one or two. And guess what? It's that time of the week. Somebody cue it up here. It's the Shank of the Week. All right, Will, so here's my Shank of the Week. First of all, I'm giving it to Si Woo Kim. I feel like you got to say it with gang signs. Si Woo Kim. Like, you got to throw it up. Like, look, Si Woo, look, I get it. You're playing great golf. You're a fantastic player. You've won the Players' Championship. You got wins. You work with Sean Foley. You got a hell of a golf swing. But guess what? What you didn't have finishing the round on Friday was a putter, because for some reason you decided to take your anger out after a missed putt on 15, slam the putter down and break the shaft. Now, what did you have to do? You had to finish your round with putting with a 3-wood. Look, You were 4 under par, bro. Like, why would you break the most useful tool in your toolbox out of frustration at the Masters? Now, I will give you this. You did play the rest of the round at even par, so I really can't hate on you too much. But you were 4 under in contention on Friday, and you broke your putter because you couldn't handle your emotions. Now, and that's why you got my Shank of the Week. Sorry, bro, but you earned it.
That sounds like he may need to have a conversation with Alfonso. All right, so my Shank of the Week goes to Matt Wolff. You know, it was, you know, he was a previous Shank of the Weeker, wasn't he?
Yeah, he has had a Shank of the Week. Yeah, no, I gave it to him one time.
Yeah, he didn't.
Give it back to him again.
Well, this time he didn't mail anything in, as you always say. But no, this time he missed a cut by a long stretch, and he signed for an incorrect scorecard, and therefore he was disqualified. Now, being disqualified when you missed a cut by that many miles, that's almost like you getting fired and they ask you to come back in to sign your termination papers. It just doesn't work out. But either
It's
way,
like getting fired on your day off.
It's like, yeah, getting fired on your day off. It's like, hey, he didn't even get cut right. So that's my shade of the week. Goes to Matt Wolff. Can I get the Wolf sign one more time, Doug, please? Nice. That's what it is.
Matt Wolff. Hey, Will. Play well this week, man. We know you're in Vegas competing. If you let Alfonso beat you, man, I'm going to talk some smack to you. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for rocking with Will and myself here Beyond the Fairway Golf Channel, NBC Sports. Hey, you know what to do. Follow, listen, subscribe. Hey, share it. If you like what we're talking about, share it. Go ahead and give it to your mommy, auntie, cousin, them, and holla at us. And guess what? We'll be right back here next week. I don't know who the guest's going to be. Will got to line that up. But, hey, we'll holla at you. Thank you so much. Sweet.
Penny loafers, no way. I think I saw penny loafers with spikes he had on today.